It's had a moment. Bear with me. Let's go with screen
to
one.
show vaccination status to get into the following venues.
What venues are they though? That's the question I'm dying to find out.
Let's have a look. So bear with me, guys. It's not letting me share my screen. Why is that? Can everyone see that yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
That's the latest new feature of Teams, is that you have to mime everything.
Okay, cool. First word. Sorry, bear with me a second, guys. I'm not too sure why 5 minutes ago this was working and now it's not.
Whilst Dan is inevitably dealing with the live demo gremlins that always happen, we will be taking a break over Christmas, but in the new year, probably the first week of February, we will start back with the 20-minute sessions around topics around Viva topics, Azure information protection, so AIP, and what are the key things to look out there and how it can add value, as well as we're going to start doing some test driving of some of the Teams devices. So some of the cool, hardware that's coming out from Poly, etc., around that. So stay tuned for that. We'll send an update on those ones. How you going, Dan? Any luck?
I think Dan's just left. I think he's rejoining.
He's rejoining.
Technical issues, right? Always.
Love it. Just to prove that it's not recorded. But I think, some of the one thing that I saw this morning when I was in the Microsoft tenant, which is coming when I joined via the browser of Teams, is start having that federated tenant across Teams. So we're not far away from, I could see the teams that I'm in at Microsoft, as well as all of the teams that I was in as part of Antares, our local team. So that's going to be exciting. That's coming very soon. You're back, Dan. And
I'm back.
Great.
Woo! Can everyone see my screen?
Good recovery.
Can everyone see that?
Yeah,
Yep.
We see your Teams calendar.
Hey, all right. I don't know what's going on, but it's not telling me that I'm sharing. So God help me what comes up. All right, so really quick one. Sorry about that, guys. Thanks, Aaron, for the save. So first thing I'm going to talk about is pinning apps. This is one of the more exciting sort of developments that we've seen across the year. I'm sure many of us use different apps through Teams. And as we know, over time, more and more external applications and even other 365 applications are becoming what we're calling native into Teams. This really embodies that mentality of Microsoft wanting to take over the world and use Teams as your window into work. So what we do is we can open an application by clicking on the three dots, the ellipsis on your sidecar there. Now, depending on what app you're using, it's horses for courses, right? For an example, I'm going to show you Tasks by Planner because I use Tasks a lot. So all I've got to do is in the three dots, I can either search for the app that I want or open something that I've recently used. You can see there's a decent list there. I go Tasks. See how it's added that icon to the sidecar there? That's because it's open right now. I've got it open and I've got my tasks. If I want to pin that so that every time I open Teams, it starts there on the sidebar. I don't have to go looking for it. This is really simple. Right click on the app you want to pin, and you're never going to believe it, in plain English, you click on the button that says pin. Once you've clicked on that, this will live on the sidebar every time you open Teams. I can click back in there and it'll reload my Tasks by Planner. Any other applications that you want. So anything within Teams or the Office 365 stack that you use that plugs into Teams, you can now pin that to the sidebar and quick access to it. I really like it. It saves me a bit of time. Sorry, Az?
Is there a limit to how many I can pin?
No, because it'll scroll down.
Perfect.
But I certainly wouldn't be adding too many. You'll just confuse yourself. And just to add as well, anything's always findable in this by clicking on the 3 dots for the applications, right? They don't disappear, they just hide. The next one that I really like is a shortcut. I'm all about shortcuts. I'm a training guy. I'm going to call it a / command. This is all about sort of, again, quick fire, really short, sharp updates and ways to do things. In the search bar at the top of Teams, you just type in a /. This gives you a list of commands that you can either click on or memorize and type them. And that's the shortcut to it. So I could be in the middle of 3 things like I am right now, and I could go /chat, which will give me a list of most recent conversations, or I can just type in another person's name. So I could type in Rob Dell, and then all I've got to do by clicking on Rob. So Rob's the person I want to message. And then all I've got to do is type that message in the search bar, hit enter, and Teams will send that for me. So I don't have to navigate away from what I'm currently doing. I don't have to shift my view. It's just /, and there's your list of commands. Again, I love it. I'm all about shortcuts. I'm all about doing things in a quick way. So that's the quick one on there. What I'm going to move to now is the big one, the Teams calendar. This is a really big series of updates over the last couple of months. And honestly, every update has been really useful. The first thing that you notice is that I've clicked on something. The first thing that you notice in the Teams calendar is it's got colors. This sounds really trivial that I would point this out, but for a lot of people, this is a really big update. So your Teams calendar mirrors your Outlook calendar, right? Everything that's in the Teams calendar will be in Outlook, vice versa. What it does now is mirrors your colors. So if you are the type of person like I am, a little bit Marie Kondo, where everything's all about order and keeping everything neat, every time you color code one of your meetings, that now pulls across to Teams as well. So really handy from a sort of, a really high level. I can view my calendar from last week, and depending on how I've got that color coding set up, I can see what my week's going to entail. So there's a lot of really cool updates with this. One of the best ones to go along with the color coding and having all day calendars, we can shift the view to day, work week, or a full week. So there's that different view customization. You can also now schedule a webinar or a live event natively from the Teams calendar page. So again, sounds like a small win. It's actually a really big one. All good? So what I'm going to do is move on from that as a really weird sort of segue and talk about the fact that I like using my Teams calendar now to run my meetings, and you should too. I'd love to see a group of hands up, but that's okay. You've all got your cameras off. Everyone that's still using Outlook to book their Teams meetings, you don't have to do it anymore. This is really important, right? You can use your Teams calendar to book Teams meetings as you would in Outlook. There is no reason to be going back into Outlook other than I prefer Outlook. And that's cool. If that's your flavor, what I've got to do from a Teams calendar is click on the spot that I want to book a meeting. As soon as I click on it, it opens up a new meeting booking. Now, this is all stuff that you should be used to. Adding the title of the meeting, who you need, a date and time. Now, this is really cool. I love this one because what it's done now is implemented the scheduling assistant. So I can type in the people that I need in this meeting. So I've got 3 people that I need in this meeting, and you can see it's told me that 2 of the 3 are busy and Adrian's tentative with something. So the best time to get these people is at 1:30 to 2, 3 till 3:30, or 12 to 12:30. Everyone see that one? That's a really cool sort of update where I can go, okay, well, let's do 3 till 3:30. It updates the date and time for me and shows me that everyone's free. The reason that I say that you should now be using Teams is because a lot of the functionality that wasn't there is there now. So really quickly, you can invite external parties by just typing in their full email address and hitting enter and clicking invite. So you don't need to use Outlook to invite someone that's not in your organization. Once we're done with this, there's 3 really quick updates that I want to show you in a meeting, which will, if you've not seen them, I'll change the way you do things. First things first, I'm going to go back a couple of weeks to find a meeting that was the right one. I'm going to go into this one. So any existing meeting now this is really handy. Pay attention to this one. When you open an existing meeting in the past, I can now view in the tabs up the top, the attendance. I can now view who showed up to that meeting and the times. So for this one, it's a bit funky because different people started the meeting at different times. But if we go to the main one, I can see people who joined that meeting, when they joined, when they left, how long, and I can see their role within the meeting. Now, depending on what you're trying to achieve, this is going to be a big win, because if I go back to the details tab on the meeting, I can download that attendance as an Excel spreadsheet. So for everyone that needs to track attendance for their training sessions or meetings as part of compliance or record keeping, we've just made it really easy by plugging it in directly into that meeting, as well as giving you a downloadable Excel spreadsheet and a copy of the recording and the transcript, all accessible from that main screen. What else?
Before we move on, Aaron had a question about being old school. There's nothing wrong with old school. Old school is cool. But attaching a doc in Teams. I'm not sure if you saw that.
Attaching a document into the invite is coming first quarter, but what you can do at the moment, Aaron, is once the meeting is what I call real. So let's say it's for this one this afternoon, right? That's a real invite. It's already been sent to everyone. Now I can go into that and upload files in there. You won't be able to do it in Teams until you've sent the meeting out. But once it's there, I can just upload files into here, and everyone that's invited to that meeting will have access to it.
That's awesome. Thanks, Dan. I just have one other question, sorry.
Go for it.
The / shortcut.
Yep.
I have a few of the ones that you had, but is that managed by our admins? I've got available away, BRB, etc., but I don't have the chat one as an example.
You should be able to just type it in. Just type in /chat.
Yeah. When I say chat, it says no matches found for your request.
That I'm going to take away because I've not heard of that.
Okay, I'll send you a screenshot.
Yeah, thanks.
I think it is admin defined.
Okay,
Really?
cool. Thank you.
There you go. Well, I like the shortcuts.
Yeah, I love
a couple that you're allowed to. All right, so what I'm going to show you is my favorite update of the year. This is legitimately my favorite update. Now, I'm hoping that joining another meeting while I'm in a meeting isn't going to break everything. You should be able to see that I'm joining a meeting now. Everyone got that? Yeah?
Yep.
Very cool. Please don't break. Please don't break. Please don't.
It's almost not broken.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, once I'm in a meeting, traditionally to share a PowerPoint presentation, I would open it in full screen and then I would go share my desktop and I would click through and I would do all of that. If you haven't seen it yet, it's called PowerPoint Live, what I'm about to show off to you, and it's probably the best update that Microsoft have put into Teams and Teams meetings. So you go share and scroll down and you can see PowerPoint Live. What is it? Great question. I'm glad you asked. We've got a few here. These are my most recently opened PowerPoint presentations, or I can choose to upload one and show it from my computer. So I'm going to choose this one. Now, what it's doing is uploading this PowerPoint.
It even works on a Mac. I think we've lost you, Dan.
There we are. I'm back.
You're back.
There we go. All right. So what we've done is uploaded this PowerPoint presentation into the meeting. Now, this view that you guys can see here, this is what I'm seeing. So I can present my PowerPoint slide natively in a team meeting and see any notes that I've got with this PowerPoint presentation. So I don't need to have multiple screens. This is all about keeping the real estate. I can turn off people's ability to move forward and back. But most importantly, I can do things like laser pointer. I can draw and annotate and highlight and do things on a PowerPoint presentation to everyone else. So keeping my real estate at a maximum, what does the audience see? They see a full screen of the PowerPoint presentation. So for the audience point of view, they're getting a beautiful presentation. For me, I'm seeing my notes. I'm seeing any control that I need to, and I can see a preview of my upcoming slides and how I want to control that. Even better than that, I'm going to close this. And I'm going to move PowerPoint up to this screen. What you will see coming soon is a button that shows up here that is present in Teams. So what you'll be able to do, yeah, mine's not there yet because I'm a Mac user, sorry. That button will show up, and all you've got to do from your PowerPoint window is click on that button, and if you're in a meeting, it will start doing exactly what we just saw, and it will cast that presentation straight into the Teams meeting. Cool? Am I the only one that's super excited by that?
I'm
I
sure
think that's really handy. If you
somebody
haven't
else.
tried- Sorry?
I'm sure there's at least another person who is, Dan.
Yeah, I'm going to make myself feel better by saying they're all on mute. They're just not talking. That's okay. Look, if you haven't tried PowerPoint Live and you do a lot of presentations in your meetings, I really, really, really encourage you to give it a go. If you're not quite sure about it, reach out to one of us and we're more than happy to help you out with it. But it is a really, really, really big win. As is the pinning apps, as is commands, as is the Teams calendar. Unfortunately for me, because I've spent so much time mucking around and trying to get my stuff working, we are at time. So
if anyone's happy to carry on for another 10 minutes, then by all means.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are there any questions that people have? Anything in particular you might want to see, but we're happy to hang around for another 10 minutes if that helps.
Yeah, sure.
No questions so far? All good?
Cool. The other thing that I was going to show everyone, which is really important to me, is Viva Insights. Yeah, I'm not going to go into the big spiel on Microsoft Viva because there's people that can do that way better than I can. However, the one that I want to show off is Viva Insights. I'm really big on this, and I've been talking about Viva Insights since it was Insights as part of my analytics. What I would love everyone to do when they're finished with this call is go into their Teams client, click on the 3 dots and type in Viva Insights and open the app that looks like this. Viva Insights is all about helping you take control of your day and your calendar and make sure that you are getting the most out of your day. It is a collaboration partly between Microsoft and Headspace. So you can see that they've got some workflow that they've married up here with Headspace. And what we're doing is trying to help people get the most out of their day-to-day, especially in this hybrid environment. We're spending so much time in front of screens, in front of cameras in meetings. How can we get the most out of this? And how can we make sure that we're getting our work done? So what we've got is a few different things here. Firstly, a check-in, a reflection. So this is a private check-in. It's a really good idea to start checking in with yourself and selecting how you're feeling. Go with this. In the background, Microsoft's going to start gathering this data about you and not sharing it with anyone. It is anonymous, it is private. But what it's going to start doing over time through artificial intelligence is starting to help you based on your fluctuations on how you're feeling and what you're achieving. It'll start making recommendations for things around, you've got a meeting at 9 a.m. and you typically feel stressed at 9 a.m. and it will start making recommendations to you that, hey, you should book this meeting for later. Because it knows that generally you check in with not feeling great first thing in the morning. So start booking your meetings later in the day. What it'll start doing is recommending that you check in with the Headspace application here for some mindful time. Take 5 minutes out of your day to meditate or just to think on your own, and it will start telling you to do that. Even better, it'll help you protect your time to get your work done. Now, some weeks I find that it's really hard to get any work done because of the amount of meetings and training sessions that I'm in. So it can be really handy to go into Insights and go book now and schedule some quiet time in. It'll automatically place me in Do Not Disturb on Teams as focus time to let me get some work done. This is all about controlling your calendar to get the best out of your day.
Just we will have a session on Viva Insights coming up as well, because there's a bunch more around the manager and leader insights as well. So this is more of the your experience, but there's a lot more to it as well. It's the whole workplace analytics brought into that. So it's quite a large product, but this is great. Big fan.
I really encourage everyone to, when they finish up here, please go and check in on Insights and have a look at it. Start playing around with some of the ways that you can get some of your focus time back and protecting your time, even if it's just scheduling in a lunch break every day. It's really important. And the beauty is that we've got this native now in Teams. It is plugged straight into there.
The praise to colleagues is a good one too. It's a nice little quick and easy way to say thanks for helping.
Yeah.
Sometimes we forget when we're remote all the time.
Everyone likes a bit of praise every now and then.
Doesn't they?
Helen, focus time is the greatest thing that ever happened to my diary. Great to see that you're using it. I really do think it's really useful. So
yeah,
and that's really good feedback. So, that's all I've got to show off, right? That's sort of my top 5. These are the ones that I've loved, and these are the ones that I use a lot. So pinning apps / commands, using your Teams calendar to book meetings, and then using the Teams meeting best practice around checking attendance lists, PowerPoint Live, and then Insights.
Right.
Licensing requirements around Insights. That's one for Aaron, not me. I don't know.
The one we just looked at is included in your subscription. So your Office 365. The manager and leader ones is a different SKU, because that's the modern workplace analytics old platform that they're bringing in and doing more around it. So, but the manager and leader is a different license requirement around that. We can cover that in sometime in Feb. We'll go through that one. But well worth looking at.
Awesome, thanks.
Cool.
Any other questions, ladies and gents?
Thank you all for turning up. We do appreciate it. Feel free to drop us a line. We'll send out some updates on the upcoming topics that we've got in February. So as I said, there'll be some Viva topics. There'll be some Azure information protection. There'll be some Viva insights. And we'll be trying out a few of the devices for different meeting rooms and working from home solutions, etc. that Dan's team are going to run through. I haven't told Dan yet, but that's going to be happening. Have a great festive season, everyone, and thank you for coming along.
Thanks so much,
Thank
Dan.
you.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you all.
Thanks, guys. That was great. I'll chase up the shortcuts, I think. They'll be very handy.
Too easy.